Hey moms, welcome to another edition of Wellness Wednesday. It's kind of crazy how it's Wednesday already. I did a poll and I am actually going to go through all the topics that I posted on, but the one that got the most responses was getting kids to eat healthy. So we're going to dive into that today, and I probably could do a couple on this one. So the first thing that I want to say is how to get your kids to eat healthy is you lead by example. So anytime you want your kids to do a behavior like to be kind, they don't do that by you telling them. They do that through you modeling kindness. So think about healthy foods in the same way. So if you're telling them to eat carrots and you're eating French fries, they're not gonna eat the carrots. So I definitely model those healthy foods so my kids see what I eat. So most of the time they're like, I want what's on mom's plate. As a mom, have you ever done that? Like they want something, you prepare something for yourself, and they end up eating what you have anyway. So that's number one, is you have to model the healthy choices and the healthy foods that you want them to eat. So number two is get them involved. This is another one. This is a huge one. If you want kids to be interested in the process, you have to let them help. Obviously, when they help, it's going to take a little longer and it's going to be a little messier. And I'm honestly fine with that because for me, it's really about the experience. Avery is almost 5 and she probably could cook her own meal at this point, that she has been helping me for that long. So I definitely give her age-appropriate tasks when she is helping me. Some examples of that would be when we have green beans, I have her snap the beans, and she thinks that is so much fun. When I have mushrooms, she'll like pull off the stem, just depending on what I'm gonna make. I also have a knife that she can use. It's her knife. She uses it supervised with me. And will have her cut things like cut the mushrooms or cut bananas, things that are a little softer and easier for her to cut. So getting them involved in what you do is huge. In my kitchen, we have 2 different tools that help her get to the counter level. So I have a step stool, because when you're short in the kitchen, a step stool is your life, unless you want me climbing on the counters. So she sometimes will use the step stool. And then the other option for her is we have a learning tower. Now that Lila is a little older, Lila is about 18 months, they both will stand in that learning tower together. And I'll put a link to a learning tower so you can see what I mean, but it's basically a safe place where kids can stand, especially when they're a little younger, so that you're not fearful that they'll fall off the stool or something like that, fall off the chair. If you have older kids, a stool or a chair will do. So that is the second thing that I do. So I get them involved. I mean, they see me cooking and they are pushing that learning tower up to the counter. Cracking eggs. Avery loves to crack eggs. She can pretty much do it by herself at this point. She only gets a little stuck when she gets a shell in there, but I've been trying to teach her how to remove the shells if she does get them in. So age-appropriate tasks, and really get them involved. Get them excited about cooking foods and about trying new foods. I am very food adventurous, so I love to try new stuff. If I'm at the farmer's market and I notice a vegetable that I haven't tried before, I bring it home. Let's try it. If Avery's interested in something, I will also have her, we'll buy that vegetable and then we'll figure out how we're going to prepare it. So that's another big tip that I have. So to get them to eat healthy foods, don't give up. So these are some of the things that I do. So when I'm doing vegetables, I will often cut them in different shapes or sizes. So I have a spiralizer at my house, and that's another thing that we can go over is some of the equipment. So I have a spiralizer at my house, so I will often spiralize zucchini and different squash. I will spiralize potatoes or cucumbers or another great spiralizer vegetable. I will cut stuff in cubes. I will cut vegetables in sticks. I will make things like chips. So really having like a variety of ways that you're preparing the veggies helps with them wanting to try stuff. Cooking things in different ways. So in my house, we always do, like if they're gonna help me cook, we always do a taste test, okay? So taste test is very important. You wanna get them experimenting with their palates. So when I'm preparing stuff, what I will do is I'll let Avery sprinkle the salt. She can sprinkle the oil or the lemon juice, and then we try it. And we try it, and we taste it, and then I asked her, what do you think? Does it need anything else? And sometimes she'll be like, it needs more salt or more lemon or, you know, more butter. So really getting them involved in that way makes them have ownership to part of the process. When they don't like something, so like say I make steamed broccoli and they don't like it, that's fine, okay? You're not gonna like everything. I don't like every vegetable either. But I do make them continue to try it, and I try to cook it in different ways so that they can see how the flavor changes. So if your child doesn't like a vegetable prepared one way, I would encourage you to prepare it another way. And what I have most success with is roasting vegetables. And honestly, moms, if you're busy, this is so easy. You just put your veggies on a sheet pan. I use avocado oil and then a little salt, pepper. Sometimes I do some other seasonings, pop it in the oven. And they're like broccoli, for example. Roasted broccoli is the best broccoli. It is crunchy. It is delicious. It has almost like a nuttiness to the flavor. So if they don't like a vegetable prepared one way, try it another way. And I would encourage you, like I roast everything sometimes, especially if I'm lazy, right? But I want us to have vegetables. I'll roast asparagus, butternut squash. I will roast Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower. I will make cauliflower into cauliflower steaks, right? Like, and you know, that's also part of the process is how you're talking about it and the fact that you're enjoying it too. And again, this kind of goes back to modeling that behavior that you want to see in them. So if you want them to eat the vegetables, you have to eat the vegetables as well. Okay, so those are some good things to get you started. I want to take a moment and just talk about snacks, because with little kids, sometimes like they will snack you, like they will just snack and snack and snack and then not tend to eat their meal. So just a gentle reminder that you're in charge. You are in charge of giving out the food. So when I do snacks for Avery and Lila, Lila's kind of not old enough to get this concept yet because she's only 18 months, but Avery's almost 5. So when I do snacks for her, I give her 3 choices, 3 good choices, you know. So I would, you know, she'd want a snack and it's like, okay, you can have apples with sun butter. You can have carrots and hummus. You can have celery with sun butter, right? So I will give her 3 good choices and then make her decide. And then what I do is we'll usually have a snack in between mealtime, but if after her snack she keeps asking for food, I let her know, well, we just had our snack and the next time that we're going to eat is going to be mealtime. So it actually, we got off the charts with our snacks, and that was a way that I was able to rein it in for her. It definitely took like a week or 2 for her to kind of get used to, what do you mean I can't have another snack? And then the whining and stuff like that. But, you know, just explaining to her, you know, we had our snack and then the next time we're going to eat is going to be mealtime. So that can be very helpful. I definitely don't deprive my kids, right? So I do like to do little treats because I think that those are important. Like in her lunch, I will do a little treat. Today, I did a chocolate covered marshmallow just because we made those the other day. They were kind of fun. I had marshmallows that we got for hot chocolate. They were about to go stale, so we put those in her lunch. So an occasional treat is not a bad thing. And also, like, just to help with the mom guilt, because I know that we all have it. We all worry about our kids. We worry if they're eating enough. One of the rules that I recommend for my patients is the 80-20 rule. This rule applies for so many things, but 80% of the time, you should be eating, healthy foods. And then 20% of the time you have that little give. So that's where those treats come in, right? You're not doing snacks and sugar like that all day, but an occasional is not a bad thing, right? And I think as long as you're 80% of the time you're doing pretty healthy food, you're doing really well. So just cut yourself some slack with that. Another thing that we do is water. We drink a lot of water. I don't often give my kids juices. Juices are more like treats. So water is our main drink because you need water. I have a lot of adult clients that don't drink enough water. And I think if you start them early, then it's easy to continue the habit. So water hydration is so important. We tend to think about mealtime as like it's just got to be like big and elaborate. And I don't know about you, but I always tended to think like a protein, a starch, and a veg. But oftentimes at my house, I'm doing a small salad, a green veg, and some form of protein. Sometimes it's just vegetarian, right? I'm doing a couple different vegetable preparations with a salad or something like that. My husband works on Wednesday night, so that is like my easy night for dinner. Sometimes it's just like cut up vegetables, maybe some kind of cauliflower rice or something like that, and like a hummus or some kind of a dip for the veggies. Kids love that stuff. They love to dip stuff in it, dip veggies in. So definitely making it more fun is helpful. And then the last thing is I want to ensure you that all kids go through picky phases. You just have to keep trying, okay? So they will get the nutrition that they need. Sometimes they're going through a growth spurt and they eat everything that is not nailed down. And then other times they're just not as hungry. And we have to remember that unlike us, kids eat intuitively, right? So when they are hungry, they eat till they're hungry. And then when they are full, they stop. So I do feel that kind of forcing them to finish something or eat something, I'm really trying to kind of get away from that. We've gotten into the habit of being like, no, you have to eat this. But I'm really trying to allow her to listen to her body so that she knows what to eat and that she can recognize that signal from her body that says that I am full. So I hope that you enjoyed this Wellness Wednesday. I hope it gave you some good tips on how to get your kids to eat healthy foods. Stay tuned next week for probably more batch cooking. I'm going to give you an insight onto some of the stuff that I made this week and that I will make this weekend. And then next time, I think we will talk about some equipment that you should have in your kitchen if you are going to batch cook and just in general for cooking. So if you know a mom who could benefit from the support and the information that you receive in this group, please invite her to join. Again, Mindful Mamas, we meet up one in real life meetup every month. I'm not sure what we're doing for November, but stay tuned. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you can help your kids make healthier choices for yourself and for your family. Thanks.